Confidence. It's the foundation of achievement. It's the quiet voice that says, I can do this, even when the odds are stacked against you. But what if you're struggling to find it? What if instead of confidence, you feel doubt creeping in at every turn? Let me tell you something important. Confidence isn't reserved for the lucky or the gifted. It's built. It's cultivated. It's a choice. Today I want to share with you 6 ways to instantly boost your confidence. These aren't theories. They're practical. They're doable. And most importantly, they work. So sit back, reflect, and prepare to take action. Because the person you want to become, that person starts here, right now. 1, posture, stand tall, think tall. Confidence begins before you speak a word. It starts with how you carry yourself. Your posture, how you stand, walk, and move, sends a message to the world. More importantly, it sends a message to yourself. Let me ask you, have you ever seen someone enter a room and instantly draw attention? They don't have to say anything. They don't have to shout or demand recognition. Their presence speaks for them. That's not luck. It's not an accident. It's posture. When you slouch, avoid eye contact, or shuffle your feet, you're saying, I'm unsure, I'm not confident. But when you stand tall, shoulders back, chin up, and walk with purpose, the message changes. You're saying, I'm here, I'm ready, I belong. I remember a young man named Mark who came to me years ago. Mark was bright and hardworking, but he lacked confidence. He told me, Jim, no one takes me seriously. I feel invisible. I asked him one question, Mark, how do you carry yourself? He paused, shrugged, and said, I don't think about it much. Yeah, I gave him a simple challenge. For the next week, walk tall wherever you go. Stand straight, lift your chin, and look people in the eye. Even if it feels strange, do it. He came back a week later, and I could see the change before he even spoke. His shoulders were back, his posture was strong, and he carried himself differently. He said, Jim, something amazing happened. People are noticing me, but more importantly, I notice myself. I feel like a different person, and the unsustainable rate of change has suddenly ceased. Who can forget that? And all the other important. Mark didn't change who he was, he changed how he presented himself. That small adjustment transformed his confidence. You see, posture isn't just physical, it's mental. When you stand tall, you send a signal to your brain that says, I'm strong, I'm capable, I can handle this. It's a shift in mindset that begins with a shift in your body. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be perfect. Confidence isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about showing up as the best version of yourself. And it starts with something as simple as how you hold yourself. Here's what I want you to do. The next time you're standing in line, sitting at your desk, or walking into a meeting, check your posture. Are you slouching? Straighten up. Are your shoulders tense? Roll them back. Are you looking down? Lift your chin. It may feel awkward at first, that's okay. Growth is often uncomfortable, but with practice, this will become second nature, and when it does, you'll notice a difference. Not just in how others respond to you, but in how you feel about yourself. It's an important distinction between being who you are and having people like you because you are who you are. Posture is the foundation of confidence. When you stand tall, you think tall. And when you think tall, you start to act tall. So start today. Carry yourself like someone who believes in their own worth. Walk like someone who knows they're capable of great things. Because the way you carry yourself on the outside is a reflection of how you see yourself on the inside. Confidence begins with a single step. Stand tall, take it. 2, the power of your word. Words have power. The words you speak to others, and more importantly, the words you speak to yourself, shape your reality. They build your confidence, or they destroy it. Let me share something important. What you say becomes what you believe. And what you believe shapes how you act. Confidence doesn't just live in your body, it also lives in your mind. And your words are the bridge between the two. Think about it. How often do we say things like, I'm not good enough, or I could never do that? We say it casually, sometimes without even noticing. But every time we say it, we're reinforcing a belief that we're not capable. If you tell yourself, I can't, long enough, you'll believe it. And once you believe it, it becomes true for you. Not because it's actually true, but because you've built a cage with your own words. And there is a definition of cage. What is a cage? It's a cage in which you get locked in. Years ago, I met a young woman named Lisa. She was talented and full of potential, but she had a habit of tearing herself down. I'm not smart enough, she'd say. I'm not confident like others. I told her, Lisa, the words you speak are like seeds. If you plant seeds of doubt, don't be surprised when doubt grows. But if you plant seeds of belief, confidence will bloom. I gave her a challenge. For 30 days, I told her to speak positively about herself, even if she didn't feel it yet. I asked her to say things like, I'm capable, I'm improving, I belong here. At first, she felt silly. Jim, it feels like I'm lying to myself, she said. I told her, Lisa, you've been lying to yourself for years by telling yourself you're not enough. It's time to tell a different story. After 30 days, Lisa was a new person. She started to believe in her abilities. She walked into rooms with her head held high. The change began with her words. And here's the lesson for you. Be mindful of the words you speak, especially to yourself. Replace I can't with I'm learning. Replace I'm not enough with I'm growing. The most powerful conversation you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. Make sure it's a conversation that builds you up, not tears you down. So here's my challenge to you for the next week. Pay attention to your words. Every time you catch yourself saying something negative, stop. Replace it with something positive. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to move you in the right direction. Because words are powerful. They can build bridges or they can build walls. Choose words that build confidence. Speak to yourself like someone who believes in their own potential. Because the truth is, you have. Your words shape your world. Choose them wisely. Plant the seeds of belief and watch your confidence grow. 3, action breeds confidence. Confidence is not something you wait for. It's not something you hope will show up one day like a package on your doorstep. Confidence is something you build, step by step, action by action. Too often we wait. We wait to feel ready. We wait for the fear to go away. We tell ourselves, once I'm confident, I'll take that leap. But my friend, that's not how it works. Confidence doesn't come before action. It comes from action. Remember a man named Paul. Paul had big dreams. He wanted to start his own business. But he was paralyzed by self-doubt. He said to me, Jim, I'll take the first step when I feel confident enough. I looked at him and said, Paul, you've got it backward. Confidence isn't what gets you started. Taking action is what gives you confidence. Encourage him to take a small step, just one. Reach out to a potential client. Write down a business idea. Do something, anything, to create momentum. Paul was hesitant, but he gave it a try, and something incredible happened. With every small action he took, his confidence grew. You see, confidence is like a muscle. You don't build it by thinking about it. You build it by using it. The more you act, the stronger it gets. Even small actions can create big shifts. But here's the key. You don't have to get it perfect. Confidence doesn't require perfection. It requires effort. It's not about doing everything right. It's about doing something. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, even just a little, you're training your mind to believe, I can do this. Think about a child learning to walk. They stumble, they fall, they take one wobbly step at a time, but they don't quit. They don't say, I'm not good at this, so I'll stop trying. No, they keep going. And with every step, their confidence grows. The same is true for you. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to take one small step forward. And then another. And another. Let me share a simple truth. Fear and confidence cannot occupy the same space. When you take action, even when you're scared, you push fear aside. You prove to yourself that you're capable. And that proof becomes the foundation of your confidence. So here's what I want you to remember. You don't need to feel confident to take action. You need to take action to feel confident. Start where you are with what you have. Take the smallest step forward and let that step lead to another. Because confidence is not a gift you're given, it's a reward you earn. One step at a time. 4. The importance of self-talk. Your internal dialogue is a powerful force. It's the voice inside your head that shapes everything you believe about yourself. The question is, what is that voice saying to you? Is it lifting you up or tearing you down? We all have an inner critic, that voice that tells us we're not good enough, not capable enough, not worthy enough. It can be loud, it can be persistent, and it can feel overwhelming. But here's the truth. That voice is not your reality. It's just a habit. And habits can be changed. Years ago, I met a woman named Sarah who had a deep desire to succeed. She was talented, intelligent, and hardworking, but she was constantly held back by her self-talk. Every time she made a mistake, she'd say, "I'm a failure. I'll never get this right." Every time she faced a challenge, the voice inside her would whisper, "You're not strong enough to handle this." I looked at her and said, "Sarah, what if you changed your self-talk? What if, instead of criticizing yourself, you began encouraging yourself? What if, instead of telling yourself what you can't do, you told yourself what you can do?" She looked at me skeptically, but I told her to try an experiment. For the next 30 days, I asked her to replace every negative thought with a positive one. I can do this. I'm capable of handling this. I'm getting better every day. First, it felt forced. It didn't feel authentic. But over time, something incredible happened. Sarah started to believe those words. She started to shift her mindset. Slowly but surely, the negative voice in her head was replaced by one of encouragement and belief. The mind is a garden. If you don't plant the right seeds, weeds will grow. You can't just hope for confidence. You have to cultivate it. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is by changing the way you speak to yourself. The words you speak to yourself are the foundation of your self-belief. When you tell yourself that you're capable, that you're worthy, that you can handle challenges, you begin to build the confidence that fuels your success. Now, I'm not suggesting that you ignore your flaws or pretend that everything is perfect. But I am suggesting that you treat yourself with the same kindness and encouragement that you'd offer a friend. Speak to yourself in a way that empowers you, not in a way that drags you down. The way you talk to yourself shapes the way you see yourself. And the way you see yourself shapes the actions you take. So if you want to build confidence, it starts with changing the conversation in your head. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 30 days, become aware of the words you speak to yourself. When you catch yourself thinking or saying something negative, replace it with something positive. Speak to yourself like you're your own biggest supporter, because the most important conversation you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. Make it one that builds you up, that strengthens your belief, and that empowers you to take action. Self-talk is the foundation of confidence. It's the silent force that shapes everything you do. So speak to yourself with love, encouragement, and belief. Your confidence will follow. 5. Embrace small wins every day. Confidence isn't built in a single moment. It's built through consistent, small victories over time. And that's the key, small wins. People often look at successful individuals and think they must have had a huge breakthrough, a big moment that changed everything. But the truth is, confidence comes from winning little by little every single day. Every single day, trust. Let me tell you a story about a man named Tony. Tony came to me years ago, discouraged. He was a bright guy, but he struggled with confidence. He felt like he was constantly failing. He told me, "Jim, no matter what I do, I can't seem to get ahead. Every time I try something new, it feels like I hit a wall." I looked at him and said, "Tony, you're looking at success the wrong way. You think it's about big dramatic wins, but success is about winning small, daily victories." He was confused at first. "What do you mean by that?" he asked. I said, "Think about it like this. Every day you have an opportunity to win in small ways. Whether it's waking up early, sticking to your workout plan, reading for 30 minutes, or making that difficult phone call you've been avoiding. Every little win, no matter how small, is a step forward. It's a deposit into your confidence bank. Tony took that advice to heart. The next day, instead of aiming for big, unattainable goals, he focused on small, manageable wins. He woke up 10 minutes earlier. He made that phone call he'd been putting off. He finished that project he'd been neglecting. And you know what happened? Over time, his confidence grew. Each small win he accumulated acted as proof that he was capable. It was evidence that he could take action and follow through. And those small wins stacked on top of each other, building a foundation of belief. Well, the problem with aiming for big, sweeping victories all at once is that they're often overwhelming. When you don't hit those lofty goals immediately, it can feel like a failure. But when you focus on small wins, it becomes easier to stay motivated. Each small success gives you the confidence to keep going. Let me be clear, I'm not saying you shouldn't have big dreams or ambitious goals. But I'm saying that if you want to build lasting confidence, it's crucial to celebrate the small victories along the way. Those small actions compound over time, and before you know it, you'll have a level of confidence you never thought possible. Tony's story is a perfect example. Over the course of a few months, he didn't just build his confidence, he transformed his entire life. It was the result of many small wins, day in and day out. By focusing on what he could control, those small, achievable actions, his belief in himself grew, and with it, his success. So if you want to boost your confidence, start by embracing the small wins. Celebrate the tiny successes. Don't wait for the big moment to arrive. Create it by winning every day. When you do that, confidence will no longer be a distant goal. It will become a natural part of who you are. 6. Step out of your comfort zone. Confidence is not something you find by staying in your comfort zone. It's something you build by stepping outside of it. The comfort zone, oh, we all love it, don't we? It feels safe, predictable, and easy. But here's the thing. Nothing extraordinary ever happens in your comfort zone. Let me share a story about a woman named Sarah. Sarah was working in a stable job. She had everything she thought she needed: security, a steady paycheck, and a comfortable routine. But something was missing. She wasn't excited to get out of bed in the morning. She wasn't passionate about her work. She knew deep down that there was more for her, but she was too afraid to take the leap. I remember talking to Sarah one day. She said, "Jim, I don't know if I can make a change. I'm too comfortable here. What if I fail? What if I lose everything I've worked for?" And I looked at her and said, "Sarah, the only way you'll ever grow is by stepping outside of your comfort zone. Nothing worth having comes from staying where it's safe." It wasn't easy for her. The fear of failure held her back. But little by little, she started taking small steps outside of her comfort zone. She began learning new skills. She networked with people in the field she was passionate about. She started putting herself out there in ways she never had before. Over time, Sarah's confidence grew, and so did her opportunities. She took risks, but more importantly, she embraced the discomfort that comes with growth. She realized that the fear she felt wasn't a signal to turn back. It was a sign that she was on the right path. You see, confidence is a result of doing things that scare you. It's about taking that first step when you don't know what's ahead. It's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Every time you push past the fear, every time you do something uncomfortable, you build your confidence. I've seen it time and time again. People who stay in their comfort zones are people who never reach their full potential. They stay stuck, they settle. But when you push yourself to do what scares you, something amazing happens. You begin to realize that you are capable of far more than you thought. And you're not going to feel confident the first time you step outside of your comfort zone, but that's the beauty of it. Confidence is built through action, through doing things you didn't think you could do. Each time you stretch yourself, you expand your belief in your abilities. So if you want to build confidence, start doing the things that make you uncomfortable. Take that first step. Make that call. Have that difficult conversation. Say yes to opportunities that scare you. The more you do this, the more you'll realize that your comfort zone was never as comfortable as it seemed. The real growth happens when you embrace the discomfort. And that's where true confidence is born. Don't let fear hold you back. Step out, take action, and watch how your confidence grows with every move you make. You've got everything you need inside you to succeed, but it's waiting for you to step outside of your comfort zone. Now, as we close, I want you to remember this. Confidence is not a trait you're born with. It's a skill you develop, a muscle you build through daily effort and intentional action. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You don't have to wait for the stars to align. All you have to do is start, right where you are, with what you have. Take those small wins, surround yourself with positivity, embrace discomfort, and above all, believe in yourself. Every day is an opportunity to grow, to improve, and to become the person you're capable of being. To go out there, take action, build your confidence, one step at a time. Because when you believe in yourself, you unlock the power to achieve greatness. Your future is in your hands, and it starts today. Remember, success is predictable. It's the result of small, consistent actions, and it's within your reach. Now take that first step. Make it happen.